Hell hath no fury like a scorned jury, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lex, and I would absolutely love it if you like the content, if you like the channel, if you want to support me, if you would consider liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing to the videos. It inspires me to keep creating. It gets the videos out there to more people, just supports the channel overall. I also want to say a big thank you to all of you guys that watch my videos, continue to comment on everything, like the videos. It really all means the world to me. Lastly, if you like Survivor, I am recapping this season of Survivor. I'll put it up in the cards here, but I did do episode 1. I uploaded it on Sunday. So a couple of days ago, but if you are interested in this season of Survivor 47, you can check out my episode 1 recap. Okay, now we are going to talk about day 70 in the Big Brother house. So I'm going to preface this by saying a lot happened this day, but also a lot didn't happen this day. I feel like we had maybe 2 big conversations, but the reality is they involved Leah, and Leah talks a lot. So it's like, even though these conversations went on for like 2 hours, 3 hours, it's like, what's actually like important and relevant was so little. So shouldn't be here that long today, but let's just begin post-noms. So post-noms, as expected, Chemo is taken off the block by Mackenzie, who is the current HOH, and Leah is put up in her spot. His spot, pardon me, in his spot. So after noms, Leah is definitely not taking it well. She is very distraught about everything, a lot of crying. Now the HOH crew, which is basically everyone except for Leah and Angela, everyone is upstairs hyping MJ up.
Oh, bright Bill. Nice, Cam.
I can't stand
Well, I
emotions
like
for
you,
too long,
not
guys.
like them.
I can't stand emotions for too long.
I know, it's okay. It's
I have to credit you with the joke.
No, so I'm the same way. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Telling her she's so strong, she made the best move, they're so happy. Chelsie is like living her best life right now, knowing that she completely orchestrated Mackenzie doing her dirty work this week. I mean, they're living their best lives, every single person. Now, Angela and Leah do have a brief chat in the pedal room.
I hope we can have a civil conversation. Girl, do me a favor.
And Leah just talks about how she's so confused. She hopes that her and Mackenzie can have a chat. You know, she's crying, like she's crying about the fact that both of them are up on the block and that shouldn't be that way. But eventually, Angela does make it up to the HOH room, and she and Mackenzie have a pretty long conversation.
I don't know what's true and what's not, because when I speak to her, some of the stuff still isn't adding up. Like, it's not. And a big thing to me, too, is, like, the personal stuff. Like, she's...
Of you on me. Do what's best for your game always. But if I benefit your game in any way, we're asking to kindly consider it. But as always, best for you as always. I love you.
In this conversation, Mackenzie essentially explains why she needed to put Leah up. I'm just going to put some clips here because a lot of what was said in this conversation is rehashed in like 3 other conversations. And if you watched my video yesterday, then you already know the reasoning why Mackenzie wanted to put Leah up. And of course, keep in mind, a lot of this reasoning is Chelsea's reasoning, okay? This is stuff that Chelsie said. Chelsie, again, orchestrated Mackenzie being able to essentially put up her biggest ally in the house. Now, I always give credit to Chelsie by saying she's the best player. I do want to preface this in saying, I don't think Chelsie is like some kind of Big Brother legend. I don't think that Chelsie is anywhere near the best player that we've seen. I just think that we are dealing with a cast that is very, very emotionally charged. We don't have a whole lot of strategists on this cast. And so when I say Chelsie is the best player, I just think that Chelsie is one of the only players that is actually playing the game to win the money. I think Chelsie does not care about playing for friends. I think Chelsie does not care about playing for a greater cause, like a woman's alliance or all of a certain group of people making it to the end. I think Chelsie is is willing to, at the end of the day, align with who she needs for her game, but she's not going to keep you around just because you're part of a certain group or because you're in a woman's alliance or whatever the case may be. So that's why I think Chelsea's so good at this game, because when you start to listen to Mackenzie's reasoning, and again, talked about it yesterday, but one of the big reasons why Mackenzie wanted Leah on the block was because Leah supposedly told other people that Mackenzie is less compatible with Matt than she is. So she was saying she heard that Leah said that she is more compatible with Matt than Mackenzie is, and that Mackenzie and Matt aren't even compatible. And I kid you not, this is a reason that she even cites to Leah as to why she wanted to put her on the block this week. So this is what I'm talking about. A lot of people in this house are emotionally charged, and I just don't think Chelsea plays the game like that. Look, Chelsea can't stand Cam, but she knows in this game she needs to keep him close. So yeah, overall though, Mackenzie does talk a lot with Angela about the lack of trust there, things like that. Angela does say, look, like, I didn't know a lot of this. A lot of what you're saying, I was not aware of. Again, Mackenzie reiterates to Angela how, look, Leah didn't even really care about you, okay? The only reason why she cared about you was because you promised her a jury vote. So again, planting those seeds, but all of what was said was actually Chelsea's words. So Chelsea and Mackenzie, they do have a little conversation in the kitchen. They are just having a reaction to Leah's reaction to being blindsided.
I just feel bad that it's me.
I know. But you know what? She wouldn't feel bad if it was.
No, it's just still hard. It's like, and I guess I could feel like this anyway.
You know, Mackenzie's like, oh my God. Not Mackenzie, sorry. Chelsea's like, oh my God, she ripped her mic off and ran away. Like, who does that? Who does that? Oh my God. Again, Mackenzie brings up this Matt situation and how Leah said she's a better match with him. But overall, Mackenzie also feels upset because she says that Leah never prioritized she and Matt and even tried to distance herself from the two of them like week 2 after the whole situation with Matt happened and he was a target. But now all of a sudden she wants to claim, oh, weren't the 3 of us working together? How dare you do this to me? We've been working together since week 1. Chelsea overall though says, look, like Leah really wanted to get you out. And this is another big thing that again comes from Chelsea, that Leah wanted to get her out during the Tucker flip, that Leah was going to vote her out no matter what to keep Quinn. A lot of things are said. So Mackenzie decides that she's going to bake Leah some sorry cookies.
Here she comes with them.
We don't have to talk.
But, you know, just like...
We don't have to talk whenever you're ready. But seriously, I do love you.
And she brings them to her. She says, you don't have to eat them, but I promise. Leah puts the cookie to the side. Angela's also in the room. They're all in the pedal room. She puts the cookie to the side. She does eventually end up eating the cookie, though. It's a chocolate chip cookie. But thought that was funny. Angela and Leah have a bit of a conversation and she says, look, I still haven't even gotten a chance to talk to Chelsea about the pool table incident, but it's clear that I was not paranoid about what I thought I heard because it all happened. Angela says, is there a reason you didn't share with me all of that? Like what you had heard? Like, did you think like you weren't sure about it? Or did you just not want to like stir something up? Leah says that she didn't share it because she was not sure. Like she had a hunch that it was true, but she wasn't 100% sure that it was true. Now she says, you know, the way last week Chelsea was reassuring me about the T-Core vote, but now this week she's turning around and saying, oh, I can't trust Leah because of that vote. Like, how could she get T-Core out? It's crazy. She says, I was trying to show loyalty to Chelsea with voting out T-Core and being willing to put her up, and instead it backfired. She does say, though, that she regrets putting T-Core up at this point because T-Core never said anything about her, and that is valid. If you remember during T-Core's disaster of an HOH, she did say the whole time that she wanted to protect Leah, and that is true. Leah was never really one of T-Core's targets, but she does admit that she went after the wrong trio. And that's a realization that Leah has yesterday. And I'm like, you're a week too late, Leah. You're a week too late. But that's what happened when you want to be with the popular kids and they throw you to the floor when you're not useful to them. Now, Leah is annoyed that they talked about all of these things that she supposedly has been doing over the last few weeks, but no one has actually came to her directly and said, hey, what is this? You know, she said Mackenzie and Chelsie had a sleepover yesterday and they didn't even include me, and all they did was talk about me the entire time. So the feeds do go down after a little while and they come back, and we hear that Ainsley brought some kind of message to the house guest.
Like, just like the messages
the
that we
one-
got the first time.
House guests.
Her voice is so distinct. I got her as
Julie
point.
and Ainsley.
Basically something to the tune of she's going to be gone for a while, everyone's in danger. So they're all speculating. They start to go on like crazy speculation. They're like, oh, Julie probably wasn't even gone because she was sick. She actually maybe was like, you know, something has to do with the Ainsley twist. And maybe the Julie we saw on Thursday is not the real Julie, but that was actually a deep fake and it was Ainsley talking to us. But they do think everyone's in danger. They start to talk more and more, and they do speculate that it might be a battle back. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually said this to my husband yesterday. I was like, wait a minute, there might be a battle back. Not because of this necessarily, but because if you remember at the end of the CBS show on Sunday, they said there's a double eviction coming, but also Ainsley has something else up her sleeve. And logically, when we've had battle backs, it's always been 4 people. And it would make sense that maybe Quinn T-Core come back, and then the 2 people that get evicted in the double, they also are battling back to get in. I don't know. Now, I didn't do the math of the weeks. I know some of y'all are on that. So if somebody can do the math of the weeks and let me know if it would make sense to have a battle back in the comments, let me know. I'd be okay with the battle back. I'd be okay with that. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be fine with it. But yeah. So overall, though, they speculate that Ainsley has been America this whole time. They get back into talking about the thing Tucker had, the AI instigator, that I just noticed they never revealed that Tucker was the instigator and that he got money. So anyway, they speculate for a while, but everyone does start to break off. And Leah, of course, she gets back into the pedal room and she starts trying to listen through the wall to hear if she hears anything. But eventually she and Angela, they start cooking dinner in the kitchen and Leah starts going again. Okay, she got more to say.
It goes up, the 2 who get better scores or whatever go up, and then the house decides who stays.
Wow, that'd be crazy.
I didn't bring that one up, but that'd be something, I guess. I don't really like to speculate too much because it's like,
I know, it'll drive you mad.
yeah.
So they do speculate that it may be a battle back based off of what Ainsley's message is. They think whatever it may be, that they thought it was going to be today because they got the message yesterday. They're obviously wrong. Now, Leah says, look, I don't have it in me to beg people to keep me. That's just not my personality. That's not how I do things. It is frustrating that I was told that it was going to be the opposite last night. So that's what she's really hung up on. She says, look, like Mackenzie had literally promised me that she was not going to put me up, that I was safe. I would have been fine if she kind of just blindsided me and I did, you know, I found out that way, but because she promised me that I was going to be safe, it hurts even more, which again, I'm going to be honest, I think Mackenzie solidified. If she doesn't win next week, I think she possibly may go out in the double. I think a lot of people are not feeling Mackenzie. We're going to see sooner, a little later on, that she also starts to kind of mess with Chelsie, and Chelsie does not like it. And I think Mackenzie is going to be exactly like Leah, where she thinks she made this big move this week, but next week, she's going to be the next one out, or in the double, she'll be the next one out. And she can't win. I just said if she wins, but she can't win because she's HOH now. So, yeah. Anyways, she says, you know, Angela's like, well, remember, you know, that there's pairs and Chemo and Rubina, they're going to protect each other. Like, you know, that is just the way this house is. Leah says, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do because the people I tried to protect last week are gunning for me now. So what am I going to do? Go up to the people who I put on the block, the people whose biggest ally I just took out? She's really confused about what she should do at this point. And it's like, yeah, Leah, No one asked you to do that last week. Now, Angela, says, look, I talked with Mackenzie. She is planning to talk with you. So just talk with her. Just see what's going on. Take that all into account. Leah, but Leah overall, she just says she doesn't know what to do. She feels like her back is against the wall. She says, she talks a lot about how she's always felt alienated, things like that. So Mackenzie and Leah, they have their conversation. And let me just preface this by saying again, Leah talks a lot. So I tried my best to whittle this down for you guys in a way where it makes some sense.
Me about it, but you said you weren't telling anybody else about it. And she wasn't upset, but she did bring it to my attention. She was like, I don't think it's true, And I was like, it's not.
She brought it up to me. That's number one. But I'll obviously let you finish.
Okay.
So Mackenzie starts off saying that this week, a lot of people brought things to her that didn't make sense, and that made her confused on where Leah is at in this game. She says, like, look, you insinuated that I had a showmance with Cam, which made no sense. Like, I mean, it really made me feel some type of way. I don't get why you had to do that. Leah interrupts her and says, Chelsea's the one that brought that up. Like, I didn't really bring that up, but okay. Now, Mackenzie says she also heard that Leah was saying that Mackenzie and Chelsea's relationship is threatening and that she should have made a bigger move last week. And remember, those words are literally coming from Chelsea. Like, that is Chelsea's wording. Remember this. Now, she said that I heard that you said you shouldn't have put the trio up and that instead you should have taken a shot at bigger people, and that would have only left two people, me and Chelsea. She said with the Tucker situation, she heard that she was going to vote against her either way. And she also says, like, look, at first you had said with Angela that you didn't care if she went home after jury, but now you're like her bestie and you want to protect her so bad. And also that you said that Chelsea is a big threat when you were up here yesterday saying that you want something with the two of us, Chelsea and Cam. So it's like your words don't make sense. You're going back and forth and I don't understand that. This is all what Mackenzie's saying. And again, this is like 75% regurgitated Chelsea words. She also brings up Matt, because as I told you, Mackenzie's playing Love Island, I guess. She said she feels like after the Matt situation, she dropped her because she felt like she was a threat. And also the fact that she was denying working with she and Matt, basically dropping her, not talking to her. It was just upsetting because it's like, you really wanted to distance yourself from me. And Mackenzie's like, I get it. Like, I understand why you had to do those things, but you have to understand from my perspective, it hurts. She also then brings up the compatibility comments that we just talked about earlier. And Leah's like, what? I would never say that. What? No. Now, Leah claims, look, I did not have a final two with Brooklyn or any kind of like final three with her and Chelsea.
To you, in front of you, with people around, that to me, it was just funny because I didn't even know, like I was sitting here defending you guys, like they're not, because that's, you guys didn't want to be seen as that either. That's all
I was trying to defend you to them, and so of course I had to say anything to kind of get in with them because I knew they were coming after you. Mackenzie says, yeah, I get that. I know. Now Leah says, look, I never would say that you guys don't have chemistry. What I tried to do was like throw people off the scent, basically, because I remember that people were saying you guys were in a showmance, and I wanted to throw people off of that. I didn't want people to think that you guys were in a showmance. So that's essentially what I was doing. Now, Mackenzie's like, I know, I get it, I understand. She's like, look, I had to make this move because people would have came for my throat. They would have looked at me crazy if I didn't make this move. Leah claps back and says they would have came for your throat regardless. I was like, oop, and oop. I was like, okay, Leah, tell her, because that's true. As I said, I think Mackenzie is in danger during this double. Leah says, look, I talked to everyone in this house. I've been friends with everyone in this house, and no one has the decency to just come to me about these problems or these concerns that you guys had with me. You know, I have been worried about Chelsie because she acts differently. She moves and looks at me differently in private chats than she does in front of other people. Leah says, everyone in this house promised me safety this week. So who are these people that are saying that I was coming for you? You know, I bring them in here. I want to hear from them. I was like, ooh, we gonna have a house meeting? She starts crying, Leah, and she says, look, this is the reason why I miss Quinn, because he's the only person in this house that didn't treat me like an effing laughing stock. And, you know, again, she goes into the whole thing about how she feels alienated in the house. She's never a part of anything since week 1. Now, Leah starts defending herself, saying it's like obviously everyone that was up here would have had something to say about me. And of course, Chemo, Rubina, like they're gonna want me on the block. I just went after their biggest ally. Like obviously. So Mackenzie says, look, like Chelsie has wanted to work with you. Like she really likes you. The reason why she doesn't right now is because she's not sure about where you stand because of what she's heard. And of course that's a lie. And Mackenzie tells her this lie like 3 times, which is crazy. But they talk for a while. They talk for a while more about how Chelsea's well insulated. They discuss the Matt stuff, the Quinn backdoor, and they just kind of rehash again a lot of the things that happen in the game. But they reach a point in this conversation where they want to bring in Chelsie. Basically, Mackenzie wants Chelsie to come in the room so she and Leah can talk, and Mackenzie can just kind of stand by and be a mediator, I guess. So Mackenzie goes to get Chelsie, and, you know, Leah starts off the conversation with Chelsie here, and of course Mackenzie's still in the room too. Leah says, look, I heard that you heard that I want you out.
I would be confident to say it in front of everyone here. I never have said that. Like, and that was never on my mind to put you 2 up. Why does that make sense? Please tell me. And like, have I been threatened by you here? Of course. You're smart. You're a great...
I don't know. Now she starts to explain all her moves. She goes over why she had to do the T-core move and what she was trying to do. They go back into the Quinn backdoor, the Cedric backdoor, all of these different things. Leah talks for a very long time without letting Chelsie get a word in. But finally, Chelsie gets to speak.
You guys are screwed.
Yeah.
So they're aware. So I'm not trying to play both sides. I told them to their face. I didn't know it was going to be this backdoor T-core situation. But I told them, you guys are in danger because you guys are 3 at this point, and it's majority if one of you guys doesn't go home. They know that. They're very aware.
Yeah.
So
Chelsie says, look, in Janky World, I told the trio to their face that they are in danger. So the reason why people were talking, the reason why we were upstairs on the balcony talking is because they wanted to know where my head was at for the vote. I wasn't scheming against you. It's not like you were being specifically left out of stuff. It's just they wanted to know where Cam's head was at, where my head was at. That's the reason why you saw us having these individual conversations. Chelsie says, look, I heard also during Janky World that, you know, you said, hey, I'm not going for my real target, which obviously was implied that it is me because you don't have the votes. You know, she's like, I know you didn't say my name, but it is clear who you were talking about. And she proceeds to say, Janky World is not the first time that you've thrown my name out there. So now she was wondering, she says, look, I even heard that Angela is painting that me and T-Core had a final 2. And like, where would she have heard that from if it wasn't you? Leah says, I never said that. And at this point, Mackenzie does chime in and she says, well, I don't know. I do think that was probably just like an Angela thing that maybe she perceived. Maybe Angela came up with that herself. But Chelsie says, look, it feels like you hold things against me for weeks, and then you say something to me when I have power. Chelsie says, look, Chemo and Rubina are the ones who started this whole thing about you having a real target that is not T-Core, like that, I heard that all from them. And they start all trying to shift the blame to Chemo and Rubina. Leah's like, yeah, like I had conversations with them too. So I don't know. They all try to push the blame onto Chemo and Rubina now for spreading that whole thing. But Leah questions, like, why do I have to be the one to run around to all of you guys and like make amends when, like, I don't know, I feel like I've been friendly with everyone. They keep on going. When I tell you this conversation went on for like 2 hours, maybe a little more than that, they rehash everything. They talk about everything again. They bring up a lot of the stuff that Mackenzie talked about. But at the end of it, it seems like Leah feels okay. Not Chelsie though. So Chelsie goes downstairs after this extremely long babbling conversation with Leah, and she tells Chemo, Rubina, and Cam, look, she claims she was never targeting me, that she always had my back, she never talked about me. And Rubina's like, oh my God, why can't she just own up to it? So the conversation did nothing, in other words. They also talk about, and she also talks about with Mackenzie, how she feels like Leah didn't really own up to most things. So Chelsie is not pleased in this conversation. Now, Mackenzie is very paranoid and very worried after this conversation. She says, look, I think Chemo might target us over Angela. So now I'm not sure. She's really freaking out about whether this is the right move, whether or not she should be getting Leah out. And Chelsie and Cam are like, look, remember, like, Leah's just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like, she's lying. She's obviously saying anything because she's in danger. Don't let that get to your head. Chelsie and Cam do talk in the bathroom, and then they go on to have an even deeper conversation about it later, about the whole talk with Mackenzie and Chelsie and Leah. But she tells Cam, look, I think MJ wants to keep Leah, like, we need to talk later. And they do talk later, and most of it is rehashing the conversation. But Chelsie does say, look, like, Mackenzie is also being a big liar. Like, she's walking around looking nervous, looking paranoid. But most of what I heard about Leah was from her. Big yes. I said the same thing. When I was watching this live, I was like, I find it interesting that Mackenzie wanted to organize this conversation with Leah and Chelsie, but it's like most of what Chelsie knows is from Mackenzie. So it was just a little bit weird. But Chelsie talks about how she's pretending, how she has no idea where this all came from, even though she was the one that started it. And I mean, I'm thinking that's probably part of the reason why Mackenzie feels so guilty, because she knows that she's the one that started this. She feels bad, and now she wants to keep Leah. And that is kind of where we end the night off. So now it's looking like Mackenzie's mind might possibly be shifting, but Housewives, Chelsie, Cam, Chemo, and Rubina, I think all of them are still very much set on getting Leah out. What do you guys think? Do you guys think there's going to be a jury battle back? Do you think that's part of it? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But if you made it to this point of the video, that means you liked the video. So I would love it if you would help me drum up engagement by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing to the videos. Helps the videos to get out there, inspires me. Also, if you could make sure that you are subscribed, that you have the bell on so you know when I do a new upload. And lastly, make sure you are still subscribed. That would be great. Once again, if you like Survivor, I just did episode 1 of the brand new season. It should be here on the end screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.